Hey everyone, and welcome to Nutty Chess Tips with me, Nutty T. In this video I'm going to show you part 1 of a mini series on the Jobava London system. So as usual, check it out. First move, d4, knight f6, knight c3, d5, bishop f4, and now we're into the Jobava London system. In future videos I'm going to show you how to deal with the Benoni line, c6, which I believe is a Slav, e6, and also bishop f5. But today I'm going to be concentrating on this move, g6, which is the Grunfeld. Now from here I go e3 and they go bishop g7. Now, as soon as I see this move, I go on the attack with h4. They have two moves here, castle or pushing the pawn to h5. First off, we'll look at castling. Here, I just push the pawn to h5. Now, they usually take with the knight. We have this lovely move, a kamikaze! Boom! Rook takes h5. Obviously, in this situation, you're losing a rook, but you're opening lines. So don't be scared of this move. Let's carry on. Pawn takes rook, and then queen takes pawn. Now, in this situation, the most common moves are pawn e6 and pawn c5. First off, pawn e6. Here we simply go bishop d3, and look at this, we've got checkmate in 1. So your opponent will usually go f5. We simply go knight f3. They develop their knight to c6. Now here we just castle. They go queen e8, trying to swap off these queens, because we no longer have two rooks, so this would just be better for black. So we don't want this. We retreat our queen to h2, and now we're eyeing up this weak pawn on c7. They have two moves in this situation, queen g6 and knight b4. If they go knight b4, we just get this bishop out of danger to e2. Now your opponent usually goes queen g6 and go a3, kicking this knight. This knight is now losing a tempo, so it goes back, and we just go to a rook h1. On the next move, attack this queen, and we're just winning here. So after the queen moves back to h2, eyeing up the weak pawn, we usually see queen g6. I just recommend pushing this pawn to a3 to stop any of these crafty knight maneuvers, and then after bishop d7, g4. And look at this, this is beautiful. The pawn is pinned, so if the pawn ever takes, you take the queen. So you usually see queen takes g4. Now there's two moves here. First off, I'll show you a really nice move that I like, is rook g1. And now you're thinking, oh, but he's hanging a knight. They usually take the knight with the queen, and now we go bishop h6. And obviously this bishop needs guarding, so rook f7. Here you will see the method in my madness. It is this move. Ooh. Bishop e2, and the queen is trapped. So if they do a random move such as knight takes on d4, we simply take the knight, and the queen has nowhere to go. So this is just a resignable position for black. Let's go back. Now you can always go bishop e2. This is a safe option. Queen usually goes back to g6, and then we go rook g1. And now we have a devastating attack. Queen f7, bishop h6. If the queen moves to f6, we simply take the bishop, queen takes, rook takes, check, king takes, and just look at this position here, it's beautiful. The pawn we was eyeing up earlier falls, queen c7. Now the bishop is in danger, it is also pinned to the king, so rook f7, then we have this lovely move and knight g5. Rook e7, getting out of danger, and then queen d6. King h6, and then we have another lovely move. Boom. Knight takes d5, and as you can see, the pawn is pinned, it cannot take. The rook is now in danger, so the rook moves to g7, eyeing up this knight. But instead of moving the knight, we just go queen h2 check. King takes on g5. Are you ready? Boom! Checkmate. Let's go back. So what happens when your opponent goes c5? Knight f3. They take, we take, and now they go f5, covering this pawn. We castle. Now just a developing move, knight c6. We go bishop d3. This is a lovely square for the bishop. Now if the knight goes to b4, eyeing up this bishop, we simply ignore this and go on the attack. Rook h1. Now if they take, we take, and if they go h6, we have this lovely move. Kamikaze! Bishop takes on h6. They take, we take, and look at this attack. It is now unstoppable. King f7, knight e5 check. If the king goes to g7, we simply checkmate on h8. Your opponent usually will go king e8, and then we go queen g6 check. The only move they can do is rook f7, and then there is no way that they can stop the checkmate. And are you ready? Boom! Checkmate. Let's go back. Now let's just see one more line. What if your opponent goes h5? Knight f3. They usually castle in this situation, and then we go knight e5. And this is a common move in the Jobava. You'll see this in a lot of lines. This is a beautiful square for the knight to be in. They usually go c5 here, and now we go queen d2. Your opponent usually takes, we take back, and they usually go knight c6. We go f3, controlling these squares, and then they usually go bishop f5. What we do here is we threaten this knight with bishop b5. They usually go knight takes e5. We simply take back with the pawn. The knight has to move, so knight d7. We castle queenside, and now knight takes e5. My recommended move here is rook e1, knight c6, and now we have a nice attack similar to the 150 attack against the Perk. We go bishop h6. If the bishop takes, we take, and if they move e6, we simply go g4. They take, we take, they take with the bishop, and we go knight e4. Pawn is pinned, and if they go queen e7, we go knight g5. As you can see, it's a devastating attack. They usually go f6, so they have the 7th rank, but now we go knight takes e6, and we have just got a devastating attack here. Bishop takes, rook takes, queen check, king h8, queen h5 check, king g7, rook g1 check, queen g4, and then as you can see, boom, checkmate. So I hope you like this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notifications, check out the other Jobava London system traps that are put up, and don't forget, look out for future Jobava videos. This is part 1. I'll see you in the next video, and it's nice.